All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're on part 2 now. If you missed part 1, it came out yesterday. So go watch. Why are you watching part 2 before watching part 1? You weirdos. And then, but this time we brought a guest over to talk about this next episode. Koto, do you want to say hello?
Really? Already? I feel like just the other day I was brought in to talk about Chainsaw Man. And so it says on my contract I was next to be brought back for when Chainsaw Man's discussed. Are we really already getting it? Well, thank you, Death Battle. You know, guys, they have battles to the death.
And now that's 2 times I did reference to the show.
Hell yeah. Very good.
Oh boy.
You know what?
Welcome back, Koto.
Koto is not wrong. It doesn't even feel like it's been a minute. Technically, it's only been 30 seconds since we last had a Chainsaw Man episode.
Yep. They did not want to waste time with this certain idea, did they?
I guess not.
No.
Oh boy.
I
think
doing a bunch of research on Chainsaw Man and really paid off well with timing in when something big popped off and they could just consume money.
I guess,
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
They deserve it.
Battle.
Yeah, they deserved
they
it. Baku Rise was great, anyways.
It was. So, in case you can't tell, one of the opponents is a Chainsaw Man character. In fact, it's the Chainsaw Man character.
It is. Yes. So, in case you're living under a rock, our next episode is Denji, the Chainsaw Man, versus Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yuji Itadori, the sorcerer battler.
There you go.
Itadori, who is voiced by the actor who did the voice of Marco, Star Butterfly's friend/boyfriend. So technically speaking, this is a Star Butterfly representation, but only on a technicality level.
Sure.
And hey, I mean, if we saw that preview, we all know that Caboose is voicing Denji.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
Oh boy.
So it hasn't even been a year, and already we've had 2 JJK episodes. So that's kind of crazy.
Hey, it's not even been 1 whole year, half a year even, and we got 2 Chainsaw Man episodes. So
Yep.
Yep. Like we said, they really did not want to waste time with this one. Because
no.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, it's like Bakugo versus Reze is kind of like the fun one, and now we're getting the big one.
Yeah.
And
but man, they're doing it faster than Shonen Jump canceled Jujutsu Kaisen Machuo.
Damn.
This is the Papa Smurf of shonen episodes.
My gosh. All right. Well, I guess you got the elephant out of the room. So, fun fact: did y'all know that Chainsaw Man actually finished up around the same time Reize's preview came out?
Yeah,
That
it was
funny.
Like divine coincidence.
Yep, you could say that.
Is it really divine?
Depends on who you ask. In me and Koto's case,
It really
no.
does.
No, we do not care for Chainsaw Man's ending.
Not really, unfortunately.
You know, it's
you know.
it's funny. Already.
Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
not,
We're all
yeah.
gonna dive
You're
into
good.
spoilers.
If you care about Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man and spoilers,
Don't
do not
watch
watch
this.
this. We
Just
we
don't.
are
We're gonna
literally
spoil-
spoiling
the
this
argument.
is integral to the arguments and debates we will be having. So,
I
yeah.
would make the argument: don't watch the actual episode if you aren't.
Yeah,
you haven't
absolutely
been caught up
not.
on either.
Yeah. Good boy.
I have
But-
seen a lot of people complain already. We're getting another anime fight.
Oh, they do that all the time. Why do we give them a
Yeah.
spotlight?
Yeah, people
It's
complain no
true.
matter what we get. It's the
Yeah.
Death Metal fan base.
I just find that funny that we seem to have a problem, and when I say we, I don't mean us. Find it funny that we seem to have a problem when it's mostly been anime-focused episodes this year, because I would argue that anime episodes are statistically some of the highest viewing episodes on the show's history.
Yeah.
So
Naruto versus
I
Ichigo
don't
is still
mi-
up there in the top 10, isn't it?
yes,
I
exactly.
believe so, yeah.
And
Yeah, gonna be real. Anime episodes ain't going nowhere. They,
no,
Um,
not when.
like
That one,
the crew themselves have
okay.
even said. Sorry, the crew themselves have
No,
even
no.
said like shonen fights have basically become their new bread and butter. Kind of like it's basically like their
Yeah.
new Marvel versus DC episodes. Like you may have noticed that we've been getting a lot of anime episodes and like no Marvel versus DC episodes ever. This is why. They know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I mean,
exactly.
To be fair to the people who complain that they're becoming the new Marvel versus DC, I mean, at least with nothing against Marvel versus DC. I have absolutely nothing against them in concept. But at least with Shonen, we are getting a lot more variety in series. Like, it's not just the same two series. Like, yes, I know, we're getting Chainsaw Man within the same year. I get it, but also we have two series that haven't been used in a very like what 5 to 10 years, not 5 to 10.
Something like that.
And then two of the most overdue characters for the show in Cell and Bakugo, and now this, which is arguably one of the biggest anime shonen rivalries in recent memory.
It literally is this is the modern day equivalent of something like Naruto versus
Ichigo.
Luffy.
Yeah,
Or that.
Yeah.
it's the 2020 version of that, I would say.
And
Mhm.
let's be real, everybody's power scaling JJK. JJK
Yeah.
is the power scale series right now, and Chainsaw Man is just relevant in the minds, guys. Iced. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would also say it's not like they're bringing back the same characters, because they
Yeah.
have done a good job of. They're bringing back existing franchises, but they're only bringing back the characters who have been a part of the show already, and they're putting them against characters from an opposite franchise that has also been on the show, but these are specific characters that haven't been on the show at all. That being Yusuke, Cell, Bakugo, Reize. The only returning combatant we've had that is an anime protagonist is Ichigo, and that's it. So it's not like they're regurgitating the same characters over and over again. They are going through a very diverse portfolio.
I also
And granted,
I also find it funny that people are talking about the two Chainsaw Man episodes back to back. Well, not back to back, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they complain about that as if Reize and Denji couldn't be any more different in fighting styles if they tried.
oh yeah.
That's true, and it's not like it's just been anime. I mean, we've had a video game character come back, and we've also had two I'm sorry, why did I say live action? We've had two animated movie characters.
There's
Also,
definitely not live action.
not yet.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry.
I-
Give it a few years. They'll do the Despicable Me
DreamWorks
live action
and
remake.
True.
Yeah,
Yeah, where
you know
Steve
DreamWorks
Carell will
would
still
do.
play Gru.
You know DreamWorks are going to do a live action Megamind.
Oh gosh.
Nah, I don't know about that. Yeah, they did How to Train Your Dragon live action, but that was also kind of a special case.
But also remember, keep in mind, I know people like to acknowledge, like to pretend that it doesn't exist, but do keep in mind we are getting Aang vs. Traveler later too.
True.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that one's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Which
So it's like it's not like we're like yes, we do have two Chainsaw Man episodes back to back, basically, and yes, we're in our second kind of year of being independent, and we have like two Chainsaw Man episodes, two Jujutsu Kaisen episodes, and like 3 My Hero Academia episodes. Yes, all that is true, but don't pretend like all the other stuff doesn't exist too.
yeah.
And let's be so honest, we're gonna get more JJK episodes in the future, given how much of a hot topic that series is.
Oh,
And
God, I hope so.
a long list of characters. Heck, I'm gonna be so real, I will not be surprised in the slightest if Gojo returns.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see it,
I would very much like to see Koto.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But yeah. It's funny. I was thinking about this earlier today. Like how we talk about the sense of variety on the show, and me personally, obviously, like more variety is nice and all. Like I'm not gonna pretend that it's not. But I don't know. To me at least, as long as they're still good episodes, does that like? I feel like that's really all we should care about.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I understand, like, you know, people want to see the new series, like, you know, fresh new faces get on the show and whatnot, fresh new IPs and whatnot. And, you know, like, I have no doubt that we're still going to be getting those later in the year.
Yeah, also, yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind. We're not
Right.
even halfway into the year, so.
Yeah.
Like,
And
this is episode 5, so.
Yeah,
Um,
and Aang versus Lumine is the only other matchup we know about.
Mhm.
We don't know what anything else is.
Which does have a new franchise, might I add.
true.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do kind of agree that, you know, I do ultimately think the quality of the episode itself should matter first and foremost, even if you don't like the choice or the matchup, which I guess that might ironically segue into our thoughts. Well, you know, I don't know how much time I want to spend on this because
Yeah, to be real, we have quite a bit to talk about and very little time to talk about it. So,
okay,
Yeah. Yes, we do.
I'm gonna just get my thoughts out there real quick. And Koto, if you wanna, I don't know how much you want to chime in. Should be told with this, but
I'm just gonna leave it off and say I have a very, very complicated situationship with Itadori versus Denji. I used to be a massive fan of it. Then stuff in JJK happened, and then I was like, okay, I kind of don't like how this affects the matchup now, or the fight dynamic. And then some more stuff, it started to work, the fight dynamic worked again, but then I started actually not caring for the matchup, and now I'm gonna outright say it. This was a matchup I did not want Death Battle to do, and I was dreading its inevitability.
yeah.
To the point where I actively had it on a least favorite matchups thing I did. And that being said, I still worked my rear off for y'all on both ends to make this discussion and as good as I can get to make my discussion and arguments for Gojo versus Makima looked completely tame in comparison.
Oh boy. Yeah, stay tuned for that later because that's going to be insane. But to get my thoughts, because I feel like Koto aside, I obviously have the most opinions on this matchup out of us because you know, I've said before I enjoy JJK, I enjoy Chainsaw Man. Admittedly, I enjoy one more than the other. It's the one that I actually kept up with the manga with, and yeah, which you probably heard earlier.
And are regretting now.
Not,
I'm kidding.
it's complicated. It's complicated.
Hey, you can still love and appreciate
I'm
keeping up with something
kidding.
if you don't care for the ending.
Exactly. No. Okay, but
It
so,
was a joke.
no. Yeah, you're good. But I mean, my thing is kind of what Koto was hinting at, even though I have not caught up in the manga, and this is like the final spoiler warning. If you don't want to get spoiled on JJK and Chainsaw Man, for real, leave now. 3, 2, 1.
Go.
I kind of feel like the fact that Yuji loses Sukuna kind of lost this matchup a lot of sauce. Because, like I said, I was kind of in the same boat as Koto initially, but partially because Koto actually introduced me to these two franchises. But that's besides the point. But yeah, like I always thought, like this matchup is cool, and I think the big appeal with it was seeing Chainsaw Man fight Sukuna in Yuji's body, and I thought that had a very cool dynamic and such, and could be really cool. But after hearing that he ends up losing Sukuna, and Sukuna ends up swapping bodies. I don't know. That just felt like it kind of lost steam with me because I thought that was the big appeal of the matchup. And it's not like it's not like that was the only reason this matchup existed. Because, obviously Chainsaw Man and JJK have very similar worlds and such and themes. And I'm not finishing that
Themes
phrase.
and such.
Well, thank you. But, I always thought that of the JJK Chainsaw Man fights, I thought Gojo versus Makima was the most interesting one to do, which, they already did. But, I had a feeling if they were going to bring these two into Death Battle for the first time, it was going to be this one. It's way too big to ignore, and, it's a guaranteed moneymaker. And, at the end of the day, I still like both characters in series, like I said. So, seeing them on the show is still novel to me, even if it's not the matchup for either I would have chosen. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're to the people who are chill about it and still wanted the matchup even after that flaw in it, I am happy for you. And like I said, I still think the episode is gonna be cool, and it is.
Oh, without a doubt.
It will have merit and such. But yeah, that is my little thing about it. I knew it was inevitable. I have my gripes, that big gripe with it, but I understand why it exists. I understand why it's happening, and yeah. And yeah. So yeah, that's it. Bro and Richard, do you have any thoughts on the matchup?
Nope.
Before cool.
Sorry.
I figured you'd say that, but
I guess my thoughts on the matchup. I was never subscribed to this matchup because I didn't know JJK fully. But now, after watching JJK, I never have finished or caught up with. I've never finished and caught up with Chainsaw Man. But that being said, the first season I saw, I thought it was still good, and I'm excited for both these characters to be here now.
I'm gonna be honest. If you all remember what I said about Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man, the last time these two franchises were put against each other, I have not seen anything since then. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I felt like this was kind of like, I mean, I don't know if this was like the best matchup for either of them, but I felt it was like the kind of the safe and obvious way to go with like how big these two have become. Like these two and My Hero have basically kind of become the modern day Holy Shonen Trinity.
They are, yes.
So
I'd say it's more of a quadrilogy with Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
Demon Slayer, I don't think is ever coming back as much as I would like it to. I just have the feeling that Demon Slayer doesn't have that many good matchup options.
Well, that's
Muzan is literally right there.
all right. Well,
anyway,
I do agree.
um,
It kind of fits in that icon.
yeah.
Anyway.
Like I said before, this is basically kind of like the modern day like Naruto versus Ichigo. So, like, hey, it makes sense to me. These two franchises are compared to each other a lot, and these two are the protagonists of them. That just kind of it's an easy recipe to me. I don't know. I thought that was kind of.
It does.
I thought it was
does
kind of
make
obvious, but I guess everyone was. Everyone. You know what I mean. I guess a lot of people were being naysayers. I guess I don't know.
Okay, look, I do want to say, I want to, as always, I don't hold back or wince my words when I make the bold statements, but I do think between the two of them, I would have not liked Ash versus Denji as an alternative because I don't see the appeal in that matchup other than, look, they have chainsaws. It's a very one-dimensional matchup that doesn't have a lot to really get you excited, other than the action. But I think that these two
I'm gonna be real. I don't see Ash moving around like that. So
no. The animators got to take some creative liberties to have Ash keep up with Denji. So I personally think that Denji versus Yuji. Again, never subscribed to it fully, but after getting into both series, I do see the appeal. I do see that these two are very, not similar, but they definitely operate on a similar basis on what they do. So it does make logistical sense. Plus, it is the matchup everybody's been wanting. As soon as they said that they were going to explore other JJK or Chainsaw Man fights in the future, once they did Gojo versus Makima, I kind of feel like we all knew this was coming sooner or later. It was just a matter of waiting for Chainsaw Man to finish and JJK to finish. And now they both finished.
Yeah.
Mediocre endings aside.
It's funny how that works out.
Yeah,
we don't need to worry about.
I didn't even talk about Modulo's ending.
We don't need to worry about that.
Staying on the course. I got nothing else to say. I'm excited for this matchup. I really am excited to talk about it, and I don't know if it'll be better than Gojo versus Makima, just as an execution-wise episode. But hey, if it can come close to that. Or hell, if it can even come close to Mahito versus Shigaraki, then I say we're in good hands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we do we do have a pretty sick, nasty preview to talk about, though.
Yes, that is a good segue. Great segue.
Yes.
So as per tradition, we do have a preview, and it's take everything you thought you expected. Take everything you thought you expected about this matchup and throw them out the window. Because, hello, 3D, and not just that, but what do you mean it's Zack?
It's
I was totally
clarifying. A lot of people misunderstood when Luis came out and said that he was the animation director for this. They took that to mean that, this is going to be a Luis animated episode. No, it's not.
Luis is the animation director on every episode.
Yes, but apparently, I don't know why he had to clarify it. Like, I think we all know what animation director means, but again, this is the Death Battle community. They can be illiterate from time to time, so I guess clarification does need to be
From time
established.
to time.
Yeah. We are not talking or even making any reference to a particular event that happened last year. We are not doing that.
Yeah,
to prove the
let's
point.
not.
But
I
moving on.
Let's not.
I
But
don't
moving
know
on.
what you're specifically referring to.
Okay.
I don't, I don't
good.
either, but I don't either, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
All right, cool. But anyway, so Luis did clarify he is involved in this episode, just behind the scenes wise, to helping the animation. And yeah, this is all Zach. Zach.
I mean, I wouldn't be
and-
surprised if he animated like something here. They say Zach's the lead animator, but that could mean like that is not. It's not to say like Zach is alone, because like that'd be ridiculous.
No, I mean, we could have Project Alpha, we could have Origin, we could have.
If Moro's not on this, I'm gonna be surprised.
Yeah,
This was literally what
I
he
don't
spoke about being his actual most wanted to work on.
I was gonna say.
Okay, just from the preview alone, if this is all Zach, then hey, this is as close to Moro quality as I think we're gonna get. Also, I just want to say, Moro doesn't have to be on every single anime fight. The man can do other fights.
No, I was just saying this because this is one of the two matchups he specifically spoke about wanting to do most
I was
after
gonna
he did
say-
House of Fate.
I think it just comes down to like, again, I don't know. If Moro is involved, I would like that because yeah, I do want. I do miss the days when Moro could just do some shots because he did do a couple of shots for Gojo versus Makima back in the day.
Yeah.
Of the Ruby era. So
Yeah,
and he
the ones
wasn't
that everyone
exactly-
remembered.
Yeah, so it's not like he needs to be a lead animator. He can just help out. But I do agree with BrobusCast. If this is all Zach, this is already looking hella crazy because it looks like it's a mixture of hand drawn and 3D assets.
Yep.
I just didn't think like. I mean, I guess I should have expected it, but I didn't know Zach had 3D in him.
I
But
didn't either. I thought that
But I
he
guess,
was
like-
mainly a sprite or hand drawn animator. But holy
Yeah,
shit.
but I guess
seen
like
his 3 stuff in the past from just his own stuff, like with the Wall collab, the collab that he himself hosts pretty regularly. So
yeah, I don't know. I guess I should have seen it coming because like at this point, every animator is transitioning to 3D in some way.
oh yeah.
But I mean, Luis has been at it for ages. Origin got on it with Ash versus Yugi. Moro is Moro, so he just Moro is Moro, so he's just got everything under his belt.
Tomorrow's just so different.
True.
I just didn't know Zach had it in him, but I guess I was wrong. Like, well, I guess I shouldn't say I was wrong. I never said he didn't have it in him. But yeah,
Right,
no,
good.
it's still
Good,
cool.
good for him.
Good for him,
He
and it
showed
looks freaking
Yeah.
cool though. So I don't care.
It does look really, I dig the style this is going for so far. I
yeah,
feel like
it looks sick.
I think it's going for the. I was gonna say kind of the hand-drawn mixed style, but also the models are uniquely stylized, and that's good shit. Yeah, no, I'm very much a fan of how it's looking so far. Because, yeah, I do really hope though that it gets the bloodiness of it, because obviously these franchises are very can get very gruesome at times. So I do really hope it plays into that really well.
Insert the panel of Itadori walking through Sukuna slashes and the panel of Black Chainsaw Zenji just running through Yoro and slicing her to ribbons as she's cackling the whole time while she's decapitated and she's a bored mess.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I have faith that he can do it. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like doing bloodier stuff in 3D can be a bit trickier, but I have faith. And with how it's looking so far, I think we good.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you want us to say. It looks sick.
Yeah, looks thick as fuck.
I guess what I can say is, what the frick do you mean? Caboose is voicing Yuji. I beg your finest pardon.
Yeah, now we can
Yeah,
get back
here we
to this.
go.
I beg your finest freaking pardon. Why is
That's
Caboose
bad.
voicing Yuji?
Who would
I
have
don't know.
thought he had it in?
I love voice acting.
Yeah, I do too. It's great.
It is great. Also, something that a mutual friend of ours pointed out to me is this is our second Corey we've had on a death battle voice acting a character.
Back to back too. That's funny.
Yeah. Now all we need is the third episode to have a Corey, and our Corey trilogy will be complete.
No, my god. Yeah, no.
I think he sounds good.
I think he sounds good. I do hope. I don't know. There's something about the voice that does feel a little less energetic than I would have hoped. I know it's just a preview.
Yeah. Also,
it'll probably get more energetic takes in the episode itself.
Like BrobusCast has pointed out, when we get these previews, 9 times out of 10, they're not used.
Well,
Sorry.
I will finish since.
No, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Phone notification disrupted me. Anyway, 9 times out of 10, when we get these previews, the official take is never in them. It's always like maybe a first or a second take. Who knows?
I will be
how many takes they have these actors do, but that's
I will be completely fair. That hasn't happened in a minute, but like I know people are gonna bring up, but I know people are gonna bring up like Metal Sonic, but that's just a filter.
That is good.
I guess Yusuke had some different takes.
No,
but
I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that in the episode itself it'll probably be better. But I do like the voice like as is.
There's also probably
like it does sound a lot like.
There's also probably context.
Probably.
Since obviously we're hearing the voice lines separate from whatever is going on in the fight. So.
Yeah, I mean, I should say that I do think it is a very good impression of the dub VA, and I think it is. I like what I'm hearing so far. I just do hope you get a lot more energetic, and because as speaking as someone who has voiced Denji on another Versus show, wink wink, I do think getting the manic laughter of Denji is like the most fun part, and I really hope that shines through here. A shout out to Denji versus Travis on Debate Club, by the way. But
Denji sounds insane. I haven't seen a lot of Chainsaw Man, but from what I have heard, that voice is basically perfect.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well,
also, there's
cool.
There's Denji's actor.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought he sounded fine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've heard the official English voice for Denji, so I am not the best judge of character if it sounds good.
Mm-hmm. That's completely fair.
Yeah, I mean,
they sound about how I remember them sounding, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, it sounds good. True. We could probably hear more, or before I can properly judge. But still, because you gotta hit those certain emotions with Denji, because he is a multi-layered character in terms of expressiveness.
Oh yeah.
Also, Denji's probably going to be put under a filter in the full episode, so.
When he
goes into full chainsaw mode, yes, I absolutely agree. I do want to say it is nice that we only have one returning voice actor and we have one new voice actor. I appreciate when they want to reach out and hire new talent for the most part.
Which, yeah, when are you guys hiring ZDogg, by the way?
When?
Yeah, when are they hiring BrobusCast for Dr. Vortex?
One day we'll make it, bro. I believe.
When are they gonna hire me for a range of voices that I can do? Never. That's the question.
I mean, and look at Versus Universe for ZDogg catalog. Row, ow, 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 ow for one. On
Yep.
EDD for another, and so on. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, also Okuyasu.
Yeah, when Okuyasu happens, get me on. Have faith.
I do also want to say that I guess talking about the track, I think it's probably going to be either Brandon or Theirwolf. Maybe Theirwolf. It has.
Oh, really? It's going to be one of the two composers we have on the show? That's a shock.
Here's the thing:
Yeah,
every
I
single
know.
JJK
I'm-
one so far has been Theirwolf. So
I'm betting it's going to be Theirwolf. If I'm wrong, it's
Yeah.
Brandon. That's cool.
I think the likeliest one is that it's going to be a collab. If I'm going to be honest, because
probably.
that's even better.
I think yeah, Theirwolf has been on the last two, and I really like how they sound. So, and yeah, I think Theirwolf gets the JJK style down. So
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon definitely gets the Chainsaw Man vibes down.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to see in this animation is I want to see both these two kick each other in the nuts. That's like one of their.
Oh yeah,
that is
we
one of
got
their- that
we
is both
got-
their signature
Well,
moves.
here's the thing:
we got to get at
Denji
least one
only
nut
he aims for nuts, and Itadori's kind of crazy, so anything works.
Yeah, if we don't get at least one nut shot in this episode, it's a 0 out of 10.
Too true. But yeah, this a dope ass preview. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I have more confidence in this than I do. I guess as far as previews go, I think I like this more than the Reize, Bakugo, and Brood Megamind one because this just gets to the meat of it very quickly. There's no build up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see.
I guess
But-
so.
Shall see indeed.
Yeah, no, it is looking very good so far. I approve.
Yeah. All right then. That was a short minute and a half.
Okay, yeah.
Sure was. I guess if that's it, I guess we're ready to move on to the debate.
I guess so.
All right then.
Oh boy.
All right,
right,
so
so,
here's a fun little thing. Some people may have expected this to go one way, and it's actually going to go a different way because Shock and Awe ZDogg is not repping either of these guys.
Yeah, and I have a very simple set of explanations for that. Real
Go
life
ahead.
stuff, emotions, and a little certain something that you can probably expect in between the next set of episodes. Because I guess should I just say it? Should I just outright say it? In my full group?
if you want.
Sure.
Our list for Death Battle 24 and 25 is officially completed, and now we just need to record that. And I needed this waiting period to do that. And again, emotions and real life stuff. So that is why I decided to step back on this one. Despite my love of these two, I will still have a lot to say during the discussion. Don't worry, because boy.
Yeah. So instead, Richard is taking the helm, repping Yuji.
Hi.
Koto's here for Denji. Y'all saw that coming.
Yeah, to the surprise of nobody there.
Yep. Rev up my chainsaw heart. Let's go.
Yeah, although
I swear I heard that another way, but probably my hearing's leaving me.
Yeah, I think so. You're fine.
That or Kira is somewhere nearby, and he's putting me under his influence. Either way.
All right. Anyway.
I hope. I need to discipline my son. I'll keep that in mind. Anyway.
ZDogg, that's a joke nobody's gonna get anymore. Aside from like our close circle, aside from like our close circle of friends.
I guess it's been a while, but don't worry.
Yeah.
He can go hang out with my. He can hang out with my dragon daughter, which no one else will understand. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Morgan.
Yeah, she can go hang out with Morgan. Anyway.
Yeah. So this is how we're doing this now.
Yeah.
Richard, this is kind of uncharted territory for you. How did that feel?
I feel good. I'll be upfront. It wasn't the best time for me to do this. There were a lot of things going on in my real life that kind of prevented me from just outright going through the manga. But I did watch the anime, and I did watch the Zero movie on a certain anime website that I will not say because I do not want this channel to get under scrutiny for us pirating. But that being said, I was happy to dive into the anime. This is uncharted. This is uncharted territory for me. You are most definitely right. However, I personally wanted to give ZDogg a break because this man has done 2 episodes back to back. I didn't want him to do a third, and yeah, he had life stuff, and he was doing the ranking. So if he did take this episode on, which he would have had no problem with, just want to put that out there. Want to speak on your behalf, if that's okay. Then that ranking would not have gotten done.
Yeah. So yeah, you got because of this, you get more content.
Yes, and as a researcher, I love diving into new stuff. So this is nice. I like these characters. I like this world. And again, I will say it until the sky collapses. Koto better be on as the next JJK rep. Damn it!
I second that.
Yes.
Koto or Maki? I'd be so down for Maki. I don't care who.
I'm
sorry.
Any chance for BrobusCast to draw Koto or Maki is cool in my book.
There you go. Although I will say let's give some benefit of the doubt. You did have a little help here.
Yes, I was getting to that. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me on course. So as I said, I only prioritized the anime. I could not take care of the manga, and I couldn't even do an opening statement because I'm not plugging anything here yet, but there are certain videos that are coming out that unfortunately took up most of my time. So Koto was gracious enough to help me by taking care of the manga and by getting me a great opening statement. So just know that the words that come out of my mouth, they may be
the opening statement isn't complete. I just got you started, really.
Well, either way, you definitely helped me.
All right.
Now, yeah, again, this isn't gonna be great, and I do apologize for that. I will do my best to give a decent opening statement for this, but Koto and the G1 Brog are basically going to be carrying me through all this.
There you go.
I swear to God, I will do better with the next few episodes. Again, just this was a busy ass month for me, ZDogg, and Koto.
Hey,
yep.
Hey, it's not like hey, could be worse. The next episode could be something and where you need someone else to completely do both characters because they're the only person knowledgeable about it. Slowly curling as it's Lucina versus Grovile.
Well, I don't think so. I think whenever the next episode comes out, the people who are assigned to that episode will do a good job. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yep. All right. Well.
Yeah, they'll do an absolutely good job on Nikki the Hedgehog versus Benji Grimm. I'm sorry I spoiled it for everyone.
You bastard. No. Okay, but
so yes, very excited to do this. Just know.
Oh, I guess on that
in
note, I kind of didn't want to acknowledge it at all, but it's probably best if we do. Yeah, we are recording this after Comicpalooza. Me, Richard, and Koto, I think. Yeah, we all know what the next time is. ZDogg does not. We're not gonna talk about it at all. I kind of want to just leave. I kind of wanted to just put this under the rug, but I'm worried that people might make comments on this video. If you do that, I will find a way. Yeah, I will find a way to ban you. Just
don't say that the next time is Nikki the Hedgehog versus Benji Grimm. Sorry.
You will be banned. Your comment will be deleted. You will be banned. And if you ever have hopes of joining this fine batch of fellows discussing who would win between two characters fighting to the death, we will crush your dreams.
Yeah.
Benji totally destroys Nikki.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
All
right. Well, Koto, real quick, before we properly get in, do you have any any difficulties on Denji at all? I know the answer, but
Denji was not hard. Alright, I got that done in like a day. When I actually was able to clear my mind and lock in, despite. I'm just gonna say, my problems with this were not with Denji's end, even though. I basically was doing it last minute because a lot of really bad, poor timing happened back to back to back, as well as some miscommunication that made me think, okay, I have to do both of them, which isn't on the bros here. They've been nothing but kind and helpful. I just misinterpreted something. But yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. Yeah. It's all good.
For future reference,
all of Jujutsu Kaisen, and as well as go through all of Modulo in the span of like 3 days. While struggling with schoolwork, my sister and her boyfriend visiting for like a week, as well as other things going on another commitments I had. So yeah.
Yeah, just for the record, for future reference, having one person rep both characters is literally never going to happen. We will find a way to ensure that doesn't happen.
Okay, looks like I'm just going to have to clone myself for the future. Got it. Or force ZDogg to be my understudy.
That'll probably happen. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We'll see.
Well, with that said, this is Yuji versus Denji. Richard, the floor is yours. You cannot take it home, though.
Damn. All right. All right, let's do this.
Domain expansion. Discussion of death.
All right. Let me take you back towards the Heian era of Japan, also known as the Golden Age of Jujutsu Sorcerers. One, there were no rules that tied to those with power down, and only the strongest reigned supreme. When it came to the strongest, no one could match the King of Curses in power or sheer brutality, Ryomen Sukuna. However, he would become bored of this era of sorcerers, as he could kill and eat whenever he wished. Nobody could stop him from taking what he wanted. It was boring. So he made a deal with the most evil sorcerer in history to turn himself into a cursed object, in order to bring in more powerful curses and eventually find a newer and younger body to corrupt as he brings this world to its knees. When it would be best equipped to give him a challenge with 20 fingers that would carry his cursed power. Many years later, that finger was found and unsealed by a high schooler, Yuji Itadori, and after it brought a powerful curse, he was forced to devour the finger, literally eating it, like just chopping it down like a chicken strip, and
swallowed it whole, frame one.
He was. Now, where in most cases, eating a cursed object as powerful as Sukina's finger would kill almost anyone, instead, that's not what happened. The worst possible outcome actually happened, as Itadori was now the perfect vessel for Sukuna, bringing back the King of Curses, labeling him for execution by the Jujutsu Society. However, unfortunately for Sukuna, Itadori was almost too perfect of a vessel, as Sukuna could not freely take control of Itadori's body, and Itadori was in full control due to this. The strongest sorcerer of today, Satoru Gojo, used his influence to help protect Itadori in order to suspend his execution, until Itadori devoured all of Sukuna's fingers so they could put down the curse for good. And in order to find and devour all of Sukuna's fingers, Itadori would have to track down and slay several other curses, who were also devouring Sukuna's fingers. This was leading him to having to become a Jujutsu sorcerer and manipulate cursed ki energy. Now, I'm sorry, I said ki energy, I meant cursed energy, but I kind of spoiled it. So, cursed energy is essentially like ki. It allows somebody to manipulate, essentially curses, and there are a lot of curses. Now, I'm just going to keep it straight and simple. Sukuna and Itadori definitely did have a lot of things to go through when it came to their cursed energy. Excuse me. So, the energy and the powers that they have range from... I had to write these down, so apologies. Okay, so, obviously, Yuji, their curse abilities essentially range from, of course, standard vessel physiology, and there are the binding vows, and of course, curse energy, as I said, but also there's a reverse curse technique, which is created through a negative motions in its inherity, and well, if you multiply the negative by a negative, you would be manipulating cursed energy into itself that will convert cursed energy into positive energy, and that positive energy has to be used to activate the recurse technique. And his other techniques are the new shadow style, simple domain, a technique which is a small barrier cast around the sorcerer in order to protect them from guaranteed attacks of the enemy's domain expansion, the divergent fist, Yuji's personal technique that he has unintentionally developed when he first became a sorcerer. Unfortunately, due to Yuji's unique strength and speed, this caused energy to lag behind the attacks, resulting in a effective 1 and 2 attack. So when he first lands the punch, the cursed energy will essentially have a slight delay before you feel the attack. And then, of course, there's the famous one, the Black Flash. Now, the Black Flash is essentially a phenomenon where the sorcerer manages to sync their own physical prowess and the flow of the cursed energy nearly perfectly. In a microsecond that a sorcerer lands a punch on an opponent while applying their own cursed energy, space itself will distort as the user's cursed energy flashes back and multiplies the power of their attack to the power of 2.5. Essentially, this is a punch that once you get hit with it, you are either going to die or you are going to be knocked out for a while. And it should be noted that Yuji can use the Black Flash more than once. He has actually been noted to use it several times, and even the official author himself said that it would take a total of 5 punches to defeat a specific lower tier, well, not lower tier, but more like a medium tier demon in the grand scheme of things. And let's just say that particular demon was nothing to scoff at. There's also his other curse technique, blood manipulation. Now, blood manipulation, it's probably one of his most versatile techniques. It has been shown, as the name suggests, to let Yuji Itadori have full control over his own supply of blood. It was passed down to him through hereditary connections with the Kamo clan, and once it chose him to teach the ways of blood manipulation, Yuji used it to its full potential. His consumption of the remaining death painting wounds let him benefit in a strange but useful way. Rather than just purely his own blood supply, the death painting can turn Yuji's curse energy supply into blood for him to control, creating an endless supply to pull from as long as there is enough curse energy in Yuji's tank. Since Yuji's blood is also turned extremely poisonous due to his physiology, mixing his blood with anyone else's blood, even if those of powerful sorcerers like Ume, can greatly weaker than just a few moments of contact. So if you touch Yuji and your blood mixes with his blood, well, you're fucked. You are essentially poisoned and you are going to die. Now, another thing is, of course, the shrine technique. The shrine technique hails from that of Romana Sukuna himself. It's a curse technique that slices and dices anything that the user makes a slicing motion towards, as long as they're physically strong enough to deal damage to whoever they're slicing. They can basically cut through anything, the firing of invisible slashes. Yuji managed to access this technique by the end of the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, mainly through his weird physiology heritage and the awakening of his true power, but just like blood manipulation, he wasn't exactly the best at using it due to the freshness of said technique. The lack of proficiency only let him slice anything he wanted, but it definitely had to make contact. It's clear that Yuji has then since refined his usage of Shrine, and he is now a pro of it, and he should be able to replicate it very much like how Sukuna was able to. And then, of course, there's the domain expansion, which, so Yuji doesn't really have a on-screen domain expansion that tells us what it does, but if you read the manga or if you read the anime and if you draw some parallels to Sukuna, then you kind of have an idea of what it is, which means that it most definitely has access to targeting someone's soul and splitting them apart from it, which he can also do with a punch if he were to concentrate hard enough. And then, of course, there's my favorite, his nut kick. If he's desperate, he's not going to hold anything back, and very much like Johnny Cage before him, he won't be afraid to go down below where no man should ever go. Now, he also has some resistances. Of course, he is not perfect, but he definitely can resist things that no other human can, such as extreme temperatures, poison manipulation, mind manipulation, the willpower manipulation, foreign intrusions, and finally, having his soul manipulated. Now, all that being said, excuse me, to finish off my introduction. Alright. So, all this being said, however, eventually Yuji would be tested through the hardest of times. He would essentially have to go through life now out of JJK's high school without the assistance of Gojo being there to protect him anymore. And he, unfortunately, would cross paths with his arch nemesis, Mahito, who made it his mission and goal to kill everyone and everything that Yuji held dear to him in order to make him break his one rule about killing somebody, because Yuji doesn't like killing people. His grandfather taught him that he had to be better. He had to be strong. Unfortunately, though, when push comes to shove, Yuji will hand himself over to Sukuna. And when that happens, Sukuna will unfortunately not hold anything back, and he will paint a trail of death, destruction in his wake. And Yuji had to carry all of that on his shoulders. He didn't even know if he wanted to be that person that he inspired to be, that his grandfather made him promise he would be. But through the trials, the tribulations, and all of the hardships that he faced, one thing was for certain: he was Gojo's successor. As time and time again, he proved that he could go up against any cursed user, whether they be a semi-grade or first-grade sorcerer or curse. He was able to be on par with them and even be past their level. And at the end of the day, Yuji decided that after the events of what he had to go through with Sukuna, he decided that he now understood what Gojo really wanted. And so Yuji made the promise now, instead of to save people, he would instead be a guiding light for them, telling them and showing them that there are better ways to live your life. And thus, that is where Yuji Itadori excels, not just by being one of the best sorcerers at JJK, but also being probably one of the best human beings in his universe.
All right.
All right, cool.
That was clunky, clumsy, and I do apologize.
You want me to
Hey,
pick up
it's fine.
move on to Modulo's story?
I honestly didn't. I honestly found it difficult trying to mix them, so I just went with what I thought was best.
There, because
and
what the
I
heck
don't want to.
even is Modulo? Oh,
And again, I'm trying to not spoil ZDogg.
I mean, I have to get spoiled eventually, but at this rate, we'll just save all that till after Denji stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, on that note, let's move on to Denji. Koto,
Yep.
it's on you.
yep. Now then, let's accept this contract, shall we? Let me take you back to the start of mankind, because as long as man has existed, their fears created devils. And none of these devils were quite as infamous or feared among their own kind as the Chainsaw Devil. Normally, when a devil dies, they're sent back to hell until it reincarnates, but any devil eaten by the Chainsaw Devil would completely stop existing. During 1945, the Nazi Devil, World War II Devil, and Nuclear Weapons Devil were all devoured by Chainsaw Man, which ended up permanently affecting the world by erasing the culture and knowledge of these same things. But due to this devil's power, the Chainsaw Devil would be feared and hated by several devils, as the four horsemen of the apocalypse would hunt down to put down the Chainsaw Devil like a dog. A dog that would be found by a young boy named Denji. After spending years together as Denji's best friend while in a weakened state, Denji would give the strange chainsaw dog a name, Pochita, as Denji and Pochita would take on horrible tasks no one else wanted to do so that they could earn enough money to survive on the bare minimum. But Denji, despite having to sell an eye, liver, and testicle in order to clear the mafia debt his abusive father left him to inherit, Denji would still dream, whether it's eating steak or holding hands and going on a date with a girl. But when Denji was instead betrayed by the mafia and murdered in a ritual for a devil, seeing his dream stolen for him, Pochita gave Denji an offer for a contract. Pochita will revive Denji and replace his heart. In return, he wanted Denji to achieve his dreams and no matter what got in his way, and finally become happy. After finding that dog in him, Denji was reborn as Chainsaw Man, only to immediately end up on someone's leash. But I guess there are plus sides for being used as a dog of the government that is going to be euthanized the moment he refuses to take a bite of another dog they're being pointed at. Denji finally had a warm home that didn't have a leaking roof, a nice bed, regular meals that weren't riddled with mold. And hey, not having the heart virus or mafia breathing down your back is a plus. And hey, he actually made friends after they tried to hurt or kill him. But before anything else, let's discover the skills Denji discovered due to his very unique physiology as a devil hybrid. First off, Denji is basically immortal. Doesn't matter how he's been stabbed, ripped off, chopped into pieces, his heart ripped out of his chest. As long as his heart remains intact, he can literally regenerate from anything as long as he's consumed enough blood. Which helps because those chainsaws you see coming out of any part of his body he chooses, and I mean any part of his body he chooses to make them come out of, yeah, those come out of his body. Like Wolverine's claws, except 100 times worse, to the point where if he thinks a demon is weak, he'd rather use an axe to chop it off because those chainsaws hurt. And despite chainsaws being fairly simple weapons, Denji is incredibly creative about how he uses them, using them as whips or like Spider-Man's webs for both swinging from place to place or for grabbing on and restraining enemies. If Chainsaw Man wasn't enough for you, Denji can imbue anything he chooses with chainsaws, from a giant demon shark to a motorcycle. Hell yeah! And given his regeneration and its strength is based on how much blood he drinks, and his very method of attacking creates massive bloody messes, he essentially has become a perpetual motion machine. The Nobel Prize is his! And after he met a fiend known as Power, and got some training from a retired devil hunter known as Kishibe, he was public safety's #1 weapon to send against any enemy they chose. From devils such as the Bat Devil, the Yakuza, another devil-human hybrid from Russia known as Rize, to the world's deadliest assassins, and even a physical form of the Gun Devil, who was inhabiting the corpse of his older brother and only parental figure who ever showed genuine care for him. All by a ploy of the person who was pulling the strings, Makima. You see, Makima didn't employ Denji for no reason, as she was one of few people aware of the Chainsaw Devil's ability to erase any devil it devoured from existence. A latent ability Denji had, but was fully unaware of. A power that would ultimately end in a peaceful humanity by utilizing Denji to devour all the bad things that were born from the fears of humans, so that they would live a peaceful life of subjugation. But seeing the form of the current hybrid of Denji, she needed to break him so that he could become a weapon. And the entire time she was plotting this, Kishibe and some other members of public safety were aware of Makima's true intentions and were trying to weaponize Denji to devour her instead. Even after killing Makima, thanks to the ability to make a chainsaw that weaponizes the blood in his opponent's body that he got from Power's blood as part of the contract, Denji was never given any normalcy. As the Control Devil, Makima's true identity was reincarnated, and Denji was all but forced to raise her. And even then, retiring as a member of public safety and being seen as a national superhero, didn't save him from every person he met either trying to weaponize or kill him. And once again, public safety began killing everyone he cared about while threatening to kill him and presenting the severed head of the child he was caring for while he was trying to cool down. Even the ally he found kinship in, Asa Mitaka, wasn't a safe place for him to relax, due to her being possessed by Puchida's oldest enemy, Yoru, the War Devil. Under all this stress, from constant combat, being used, and everyone he meets trying to kill him, it made it clear everyone was after his chainsaw heart. Denji's heart was nothing. And when Denji himself is at his worst, is when Pochita shows up, beginning to unleash the true terror of the Chainsaw Devil. And against Yoru, Pochita was up against the biggest fight in his life, especially after America rediscovered nuclear weapons, bringing Yoru back to her prime and wiping the entirety of Tokyo off the map with a single finger gun. But during that fight, Yoru realized something and left the fight inconclusive. What she didn't love wasn't war, combat, or even weapons. She loves America. And when Denji and Yoru had their rematch, not only did Yoru show up way stronger due to a contract that she made with America that literally let her summon anything related to the United States and turn it into a weapon, from entire states that get their entire mass compressed into weapons, to summoning the US flag from the moon and pulling it as a spear in seconds, or turning the Statue of Liberty into a giant railgun. Denji had some tricks up his sleeve thanks to an alliance he made with the Death Devil, as he had several small compressed devils he could just pop into his mouth and erase them by swallowing them. Like specifically the Leg Devil, completely removing the existence of legs. But it wasn't that easy to put Yoru down, as Yoru forced Denji to vomit up the devils that he swallowed. But rather than relying on Pochita, Denji found the strength to suppress his trauma himself in his strongest state. Denji man! And after realizing the source of Yoru's power, he decided the best way to stop Yoru from using the deaths of several American citizens to empower herself was to erase death. So he just freaking ate the concept of death in order to enforce a stalemate where Yoru was forced to give in to the demands of her opponent in order to release control of Asa's body. Denji finally had a friend who was free from trauma, someone who couldn't and die. Or could he? Because by erasing the concept of death, it lets very small, short lifespan creatures that die faster than they have any time to grow to become a threat to everyone, devour all life on the earth in a state where nothing could die. And in this permanent state between life and death, Pochita would turn to Denji, asking him an important question. While he had food, friends, and a warm place to stay, was Denji happy? Or was he happier back when he was sick and dying, while slowly starving alone in a rickety shack while the mafia had him in their grip? Because think about it, Denji would continue to suffer due to the actions of others, all to use the powers that came from the Chainsaw Devil. If there was no Chainsaw Devil, Denji could live a happier life, right? And so Pochita devoured himself, erasing the Chainsaw Devil from existence. Denji then woke up. Everything was a bad dream, right to where he was about to be sacrificed by the Mafia, but instead, his life got saved by power. The two were taken in by Naruto, who took her former incarnation Makiba's place. And on a job, they managed to save Asa before Yoru got in her head. Denji could finally live a life free from the struggle he was forced to face. Even if the ending is controversial and definitely messy, and how the themes and such are conflicting, I still want to say, thank you, Chainsaw Man.
Very nice. Very nice. You get it.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that very well done. Very well. All right. So, yeah, before we get into this, we probably should address Modulo. Either of you can do it. I don't care.
Okay. So Modulo makes it clear that after like the defeat of Sukuna and such, Yuji is literally the pinnacle of one of the two pinnacles of the verse. Even displaying the single best scalable feat anyone can scale to when he slices up 2 giant chunks of Tokyo, while standing on the edge of Tokyo's border with his cleave. Eve, Eve, taking out 2 completely separate cities and just chopping them all down, eliminating all of the curses inside, alongside the buildings and such. Good thing there were no humans at that point of time, because Tokyo has been uninhabited by anything other than curses for years. And something that Modulo also makes very, 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 very clear: there is no Jujutsu sorcerer who can go near the speed of light. And it's a consistent thing. Gege has made clear the speed of light is impossible to reach for all but one character throughout the series. Haze. But it also makes clear, Itadori is basically immortal. He literally stops aging and is permanently basically in the body of older or like a young adult, just permanently. So he just byproduct of being the son of Kenjaku that is a distant relative of Ryomen Sukuna, which is why he was the perfect vessel. In the first place. Let's not get into Kenjaku's child-making habits, because Kenjaku's a freak, like legit. For those who don't know, Kenjaku literally takes his brain and puts it inside of someone else's corpse. To constantly reincarnate.
I like how we're like, let's not get into it, and then you get into it.
Wait.
No, I said let's get into it. Like, I said to cover it.
Oh, I'm talking about Kenjaku.
Oh, okay,
Kenjaku-
never mind.
Because it explains how Itadori has all of his abilities, and why he was able to be trained by the curse, or the death painting room, the eldest of them, Shoso, because Shoso was literally his older half brother. So yeah, and Modulo makes it clear. Oh yeah, all the stuff we saw from Sukuna and Gojo and Maharaga, they are weaker than Modulo Itadori is. It's not just with the displayed feats, but within canon. And so anything they were capable of, Itadori upscales from that. And then there's just the weird alien stuff, but that's not entirely relevant. Modulo is about aliens that refugees that happen to have cursed energy that discover Earth.
Fun.
Sure.
Yeah, no, Modulo's wild.
Yeah, it gets wild.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
right.
Now then. And Richard, if I do say so, I think it's time we have a debate and let these two ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Well, bro, I'm gonna let you ask any questions first and foremost. If you have any, that is.
I'll probably think of something.
Okay, I do have a question about the poison blood of Itadori's, because I do think that is definitely a bit tricky in this fight. So is the poison instant, or is it just like does it take a while for it to get into your system?
It's not instant. It is not instant.
Okay. It's not instant.
And even then, it's a specific usage of the poison. of piercing blood. It is a specific technique that fires it. Itadori's blood is not constantly poisoned, and even then, Denji has resistances to poisons and stuff, and due to his contract with power and having power's blood inside of him, it could theoretically eliminate the poison from within the blood if Denji consumes it or it gets in contact with Denji's blood. Due to, well, blood fiend blood is within him. The power, he has the power of the blood devil within him, which, as I mentioned, he can create blood chainsaws that literally weaponize someone's own regeneration and blood against them, which can nullify I regeneration, which is how he killed Makima.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like that is probably a big thing to
Okay, so
overcome.
so it's not instant. So how long does it take?
It's more like a passive debuff more than it's like poison. And even then, strong enough of characters like Sukuna have actually shaken up the poison. Or as Sukuna shake off Choso's poison. And Itadori's is piercing blood is specifically noted to be not anywhere as good or perfect as Choso's. And Sukuna was able to just shake off Choso's after getting a direct hit to Sukuna's heart.
Okay. So, okay.
Alright. And even then, Denji's dealt with poisons before. Or due to... remember how I brought up the assassins? They tried poisoning him, and it just made him sick and sluggish for a bit, but he recovered after enough time. And that was from someone who was stronger than Denji was at the time. I do not think those poisons would have worked against modern day Denji.
Let's trying to think. Okay, remind me that so does he still have? Should he still have access to the devils? Denji, sorry, should Denji still have access to those devils that like the leg devil that he could like pop them in and like affect the fight?
Theoretically, yeah, he was actively given them for a fight, and he had them in his arsenal. We are and theoretical. And here's the thing, the effects of whatever Chainsaw Man erases is by consuming mostly doesn't affect him. And even then, let's say he ate the leg devil, and now Itadori and Denji don't have legs. Denji just makes new chainsaws that he uses to rev up on the ground to continue fighting.
Right.
And something I also want to bring up. There's nothing stopping Denji from just eating Itadori.
You know, I wanted to save that question till the end, but I do think it is a legit question. Like, obviously like eating Yuji is already pretty bad, but if he was to get like a finger, or how do I put this? If he was to get like a part of Yuji that was imbued with cursed energy, that would theoretically erase the concept of cursed energy, right?
No, he has to eat the devil he would have to eat the being that represents the being of cursed energy. But that being said, because of how we've seen in things that Denji's eaten a part of, it actually they weren't able to regenerate from that part. When he ate the Death Devil, as I spoke before, he didn't just swallow her whole. He just in one bite bit her whole top off, and she wasn't able to regenerate from that, despite the fact that devils are basically immortal. Oh,
Well,
Oh.
don't extensive regenerations require consuming of blood?
Yes, they do, and that is kind of a double-edged sword.
Or-
Yuji's regeneration is definitely not as potent as Genji's. I'm gonna state that now for the record. However, I would say that he doesn't need a copious amount of blood to do it, and he
No.
has been able to come back from death and near death pretty good on his own. Yes, there were extensive moments, there were circumstantial moments that made him come back, but the fact that he does have ways to heal himself without consuming something, I think that's, honestly, in my opinion, that's better. Because there is a scenario where Denji won't have access to blood if it's just him and Yuji fighting in a, like, let's say in a area that has no citizens for him to consume blood.
Even then, Denji doesn't attack citizens and stuff. He wouldn't. But that being said, he could always just pop one of the devils he has in his mouth to just heal from that.
Yeah.
Because they are compressed. Their whole body mass and everything is just compressed into a small size. So he pops that, he basically consumes a full body's worth of blood. And even then, even without consuming blood, Ed, remember the whole thing of regenerating from ripping out his heart? He regenerated from the heart, and that was after an extended period of time where he didn't have any blood to drain, and he was getting wailed on by like 50 different people and getting mortal wounds constantly. So
was it
he can go
instantaneous, or
Yeah.
did it take... Oh.
It was basically instantaneous. You ripped out his heart while in space. Ace threw it into the earth, and it regenerated basically instantly as it was falling back to earth. And when it hit the ground, he was completely fine with no scratches whatsoever. And there actually is a caveat to reverse curse technique. One is that it actually has a limit for what it can and can't regenerate. Like in particular, any part of Itadori that's been consumed by a curse, he wasn't able to regenerate because Itadori is missing 2 fingers. One from when Sukuna did his body transfer and forced Fushiguro to eat one of Itadori's fingers by swapping bodies, ripping a finger off, and forcing Fushiguro to swallow it to get Fushiguro to be his new vessel instead of Itadori. And another, which he willingly sacrificed so that Yuta could give the abilities that come from Itadori and Sukuna. He was not able to regenerate those, and reverse curse technique is something that has to be consciously done and if the brain is damaged at all, it will be unable to do it. And spamming reverse curse technique will actually cause your brain to fry, which was part of the reason Gojo lost his fight against Sukuna.
Yeah.
Questions continue.
So, bro, do you have any still?
Not at the moment. We'll see how.
Okay.
All
All right. Well, I guess we should probably rip the Band-Aid off. But okay, there's already the speed thing that I think is a bit of a problem because
Yes.
like Koto said, the whole capping JJK can't go light speed, and then Chainsaw Man.
Even in Death Battle preview, they pretty much outright said that Gojo, that all characters like Itadori and Mahito can only reach speeds of like definitely over the speed of sound, but they are coming nowhere close to the speed of light. They are the only shonen anime characters that cannot achieve faster than light speed, or even dodge faster than light speeds. So if somebody fired a laser at them, that would not grant them dodging light.
Yeah.
So yeah, JJK is supposed to be more in your typical shonen anime. So there are no characters who can fire lasers or who can definitely do your standard speed of light attacks or dodges.
There are light speed attacks in JJK. That's the thing. There are actively light speed attacks and beyond. But the thing is, nobody except for one person, Dabura, that being basically the strongest of the aliens in Modulo, scales to them.
Well, that again, yes, there. I guess for the purposes of this, we unfortunately can't use Daburo because, yeah, I just said it. Nobody has been able to scale it. Right? So it's unfortunately a moot point in this discussion. And yeah, I'm going to be honest. Denji 100% has the speed category down. If that was not obvious, which is very much apparent going back to all the way in Gojo versus Makima, where the one advantage Makima had over Gojo was that she was faster than him.
That was the one thing we mutually agreed, because everything else was just really debatable back and forth.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I think it is also important to mention, because I feel like that is like a big argument here, is the soul shenanigans of
Yes, that is
Yuji.
in trump card.
Hey, can I pause for a quick second? Does Richard sound like a robot to anybody else, or is
Yes.
it just me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Damn it.
Alright.
It just became a thing. Don't worry, Richard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. How do I sound now? Is it good now?
Better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry
Sorry,
about that, audience.
I wondered if that was either you or my headphones acting up, but that shit was hurting my ears.
I
Yeah.
apologize to everyone out there. My deepest apologies.
No worries. Just wanted to make sure I got that squared away. All right. Anyways, continue.
Alright, yes, the soul chicanery.
Yes. So Itadori has an attack that. Well, okay. So I know a lot of people have questioned and asked, should Sukuna be involved in this fight?
No.
That is definitely a bit of contention that I have seen.
And
For the
even
purposes
then,
of this-
Itadori at his strongest is stronger than Sukuna was, and
that is
still has
even-
most of Itadori,
I'm-
still has most of Sukuna's techniques.
So I'm working
Sukuna
off of
doesn't
the-
even change the outcome either.
So I'm working off of the assumption that he will probably have Sukuna scaling, so everything's fair game. But Yuji does have an attack that can separate somebody from their soul if he hits them with it. Now, granted, it means he has to get in close, and this definitely feels like it is going to be a game of cat and mouse. But I think my ultimate trump card is that if Yuji Itadori hits Denji with the attack, he is going to separate Denji from his soul.
Okay.
That
Can
one,
I have a counterpoint to that, actually. Two different counterpoints. One, the whole soul thing in openly he had pushback from both parties within Sukuna's body. Their own souls were able to fight against it the moment Itadori hit them with the attack, and they only maintained effectiveness within Itadori's domain after Sukuna's soul was already hit with a powerful attack from somebody else. And Denji and Pochita have shown to completely operate even while their souls have been separated in completely different planes of existence. ends. 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 As that actually happens, where Denji's soul gets separated from Pochita, but they're still able to
Yeah.
collaborate and fight within different planes of existence as to still take down common enemies. Ace. 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 So even if Itadori could separate their souls, it doesn't matter because best case he takes out Pochita's soul and he just has to fight Denji in control of the body with all his abilities and stuff like he normally was. Worst case, he knocks Denji out and now has to face someone far more experienced, vicious, and who's going to be very pissed that the boy he took a liking to had his soul knocked out of the body. And is not going to mess around like Denji tends to do at times. And is likely just going to eat Itadori immediately. And even then, they can do pushback against it because souls in Chainsaw Man have actually seen interacting in when specific characters have targeted their souls, and because of their physiology, they were able to stop Denji from being affected by soul hacks in the past from Yoru, who is able to take people from their concept and soul and transform them into weapons. And
So they were able to help Denji resist it?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. You may have triggered something there. That's a good point. So if Denji needed help to get his soul,
no, it's because of his physiology. Because of being combined with Pochita, Yoru's stuff didn't affect him. Is what I'm saying.
Well, okay. So Denji does not. So Denji, if he were to have his soul removed from Pochita, or vice versa, you're saying there doesn't need to be any outside help or assistance for them to get their souls reunited. They can just do that?
No, I'm saying he might not be affected. And if one of them is removed, the other is still control of the body and still all the abilities. Because both souls inhabit the body at the same time. And Pochita has taken control of Denji on several occasions.
So you are set, but okay, so between how I'm reading between the lines is that you just said it has happened. They have had their souls separated before, and
yeah,
so that
when
means
Denji was sent to a completely different plane of existence, and Pochita still in Denji's body, while Denji on the other side of existence have collaborated before without outside resistance because of the connection between the two with their contract.
I still think that the soul manipulation can work. Like, yes, it's 50-50 on who it works on, but I think if they go with the off chance that, okay, well, if Yuji hits Denji with it, Denji's losing something. And there is the question of, okay, well, are they going to take that into consideration? Because if Denji or Pochota lose their souls, somebody is dying. And again, it would end with Denji losing. Now, yes, Pochota is still there, but I make the argument that so Denji himself would die, and that, in my opinion, that counts as something. And
can I interrupt you real fast for some elaboration on what that soul attack actually did? Ed from Itadori, what he did to Sukuna? What he did was he just separated Sukuna's soul from Fushiguro's body, leaving his soul physically out there, separate from the body, and it was just there as its own thing. If he were to do that to a Denji or Pochita, they could just go back together because of their contract.
I was gonna say it's not a thing of like they outright die. It's just
No. It's just, oh, I'm just taking this out of your body. Sukuna
Exactly.
could have actually gotten back into another body. It just, Adi, but at that point, he was basically dead. It was worthless, and that body basically was beat to its limit. From all of the back-to-back stuff, Sukuna was out of cursed energy at that point. Not to mention, Nobara messed him up.
Well, okay, well, here's the thing. That may be, but what is to stop Yuji from doing that exact same thing? Except now this time, very much like Sukuna, Denji has just because Denji and Pochita are separated, if they do come back, will they come back with fresh blood to continue the fight?
He still has those devils he can pop into his mouth at any point. Right. Eating one of those is basically an instant back to full. Oh. And that's even if Itadori is able to pull it off, or if it will even work. Because as Denji and Pochita's souls have resisted soul stuff in the past. The only reason why they were separated in the past was because of a very specific set of abilities that basically sent Denji, but not Pochita, to a completely separate dimension.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say I don't think that could be. I don't know, because what Yoru did and what Denji's or what Yuji's doing, it's not exactly applicable to the same thing, because yours is just stupid. It's like yours abilities are stupid. But
Stupid. Oh.
So I don't think it can be like I don't think the two can be directly applied here. And again, like said, like, you know, if one soul is gone, like the other can still control the body.
And
So.
Either way, the other is still massively faster and can just instantly restore itself back to full. Oh, by eating a devil. Oh.
Well,
Bro,
you
have questions or interjections?
So if they are separated, I guess this is assuming that it even works in the first place. But like if they are separated, isn't like I'm an outsider, so bear with me.
Right.
I kind of figured a lot of Denji's like Chainsaw Man powers were because of Pochita, because that thing is a Chainsaw Devil.
They're because Pochita is his heart.
Sure, but
Pochita's soul is irrelevant to this.
Well, sure,
and this
but
is something that's made clear.
Well, sure,
here.
But if they're
you
separated,
have to remove his heart, not the soul. Oh, and Denji has used
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. You have to remove the heart, not the soul.
Because I was gonna say, if they're separated, then like Pochita's off on his own, and Denji is just Denji.
Yeah.
With all the same abilities, because he still has that dog in him, literally.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, yeah, like I said, outsider. So.
Yeah, you're all good.
I had a question, and I don't remember what it was. That's awesome. That's great how that works out, isn't it? Oh, a bit on the realist of levels here. Does Yuji have like? Okay, obviously Denji's healing factor is crazy. It's limited, but it's crazy. So like in that regard, does Yuji really have any way of actually killing Denji? Overtaxing his healing factor aside.
Overtaxing the healing factor isn't a thing because he needs to destroy the heart. If he destroys the heart, Denji loses all of his abilities as Chainsaw. But you specifically have to destroy it and not, rip it out or try to remove Pochita's soul. And if he were strong enough, he could do it.
So then that's the question.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. So my thing is, my question was going to be, would Denji be able to resist the Black Flash?
Here's the thing
Or-
with the Black
I'm sorry.
Flash.
Or
Ah.
even, okay, I'll save my other question and let you answer this
Ash,
question.
I want to clear up a misconception about the Black Flash. Because this is something the manga makes clear. The Black Flash is not something that can't be done at will. It's explicitly said over and over throughout the story. Nobody can do the Black Flash at will. It's more like a critical hit in a video game. Aim,
Right.
aim,
But-
aim. And the Black Flash, Ash, is just as it sounds. It's just a really strong attack that multiplies your already high whatever applies, but it's always a physical blow. It's not applied to things like any jujutsu techniques like cleave or piercing blood. It's always a physical blow. And while that does restore your cursed energy afterwards, it's not something that can be relied on. And you have to have a clear and steady mind in order to do it. Case in point, when Itadori was lost in doubt and fear against Mahito, in his rematch, he was unable during Shibuya. He was unable to land them while Mahito was just landing Black Flash ashes on him regularly. And only after being revitalized by Koto, he was able to land a Black Flash.
So, my other question is, can Denji compete or even survive Yuji's domain expansion?
To clarify that, we have to look at the pinnacle of both's power. Because as the domain expansion is a guaranteed hit. And you know what in JJK canon is like the explicit way to avoid a domain and is made constantly clear? Don't get caught in the domain or kill the person before they can use their guaranteed hit.
But then how would Denji know to do that?
He probably wouldn't know to escape it, but that being said, Denji always goes for the kill in his fights. And is far more intelligent than he lets on as well, often purposefully misleading his opponents and so on, or tricking them into false senses of security so he can land a hit before they do. Like in his fight and Samurai Sword, where he purposely misled his opponent by not revealing he can make chainsaws anywhere on his body, thinking that, I can only do it for my arms on my head. So if he since he already took my arms, if he destroys the one on my head, he wins. But no, I tricked him and cut him in half because he was focused on that one. Or how he purposely sets up Rize actively not trying needing to take Denji back alive to set up a suicide ploy that ultimately made it so Rize couldn't fight back despite basically winning the fight and checkmating him. Or actively taking Makima's obsession with Pochita to let him get an opening blow, realizing I can use the blood I got to turn Makima's own blood against her and nullify her regeneration and contract. Because at that point, she's killing herself, and I'm not killing her, which doesn't kill a bunch of citizens as a result. Or how he specifically used the devils he was eating to do so. Denji always goes for the kill right away, but always tries to mislead and outsmart his opponents, and as he is more intelligent than he lets on, and uses the fact that people don't think he's that smart against them, where Itadori, his whole strategy is really just hit it till it dies.
Well, let's not count Itadori out. He is not a single-minded combatant. He is capable and has proven that he can think strategically. I mean, he didn't just go to JJK to just goof around. No, he took his training seriously, And there's also the fact that, okay, in his fights, his opponents vastly underestimated just how much strength and power this guy had, and he took advantage of them underestimating him as a combatant. So again, I feel like, well, yes, you're right. Denji does it more consistently, more creatively. I wouldn't count Yuji out because Yuji is just as capable. But I would say that he can and probably could outsmart Denji if Denji wasn't careful. Because I feel like the domain expansion definitely is something that can catch him off guard. And without Denji knowing I need to get away from that or I need to kill him before he does that, he's definitely going to have, in my opinion, I think Yuji's going to catch him off guard.
And there's a major downside to a domain expansion as well. It disappears after the guaranteed hit is used, and during a period of time, they cannot use cursed energy for anything whatsoever for a certain period of time, unless you actively fry your brain and by forcing yourself to.
Or if you're Gojo.
Here's the thing. Yeah, unless you're Gojo. Well, here's the thing. So, in the third season, and in the manga, Yuji has been put in situations where he hasn't been able to use his cursed energy, and he's essentially just himself. That being said, him without cursed energy, he's not an instant thump who will just get
absolutely, because
he was able to fight somebody who had a particular passive domain expansion that wasn't like traditional domains, where domains are primarily used for attack. He came across one that was mainly used in a more, we'll just say, non-lethal kind of way that was meant to disable him from using his cursed energy. And when he was put in that situation, Yuji Itadori was able to hold out pretty much the guy who put him through that. And even he was like, even without cursed energy, he's relying on his sheer physical durability, and he's not going down. If this were to come down to a fight to the death, and Yuji were to throw hands with Denji, I think Yuji would get in some great licks.
Absolutely. I'm not denying that.
Because in my opinion, no, and I know you're not, because in my opinion, I think Yuji is the better physical combatant overall, whereas Denji is more of a literal he's not even a close quarters combat fighter. He's very much a fly by the seat of his pants fighter. He can do close quarters, he can do long distance, but he very much always goes in with the plan of, most of the time, spreading and tearing.
Right. I mean, it also, to be fair, it also helps that, unlike Denji, Yuji actually went to sorcerer school. He knows how to.
He actually got a few months of training from the strongest of this, and then some more training from the most skilled of the world, including his big brother, who technically has thousands of years of experience. And
Man's actually went to school.
Yeah, exactly. His book smarts are coming in great handy against somebody who is essentially a hired assassin, for lack of a better word. And
he's a government. Yeah. He's devil FBI. He's a devil FBI.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think that if all else fails, I definitely think the domain expansion could be something that'll trip Denji up. And again, without the knowledge going in, I don't see how Denji is going to know how to avoid that.
Well, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, to be fair, I don't. Okay, I'm not fully immersed in what the domain expansion does in this case, but again, like I said, if Denji can, if Denji is trapped in there, Yuji catches them off guard and get them. If he can survive the onslaught, that is huge, because was mentioned, after the domain closes, Yuji's gonna be like lacking curse energy, which he can still fight, of course. Like, don't get me wrong.
But he
that
won't
is-
be able to use things
that
like
is-
reverse test or
I was gonna
technique.
say,
Unlike
here's
most-
who you
blood
need to
and
use
so
reverse
on.
Unlike most Jujutsu sorcerers,
Yeah.
unlike most Jujutsu sorcerers who lose access to their cursed energy, Yuji does not have that vulnerability that they do, because Denji was trained in martial arts first, and then a Jujutsu sorcerer second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I think this really comes down to like the defining things, because a lot of this is going back. These could work and be useful if Itadori was strong enough to use them. So I think we have to finally get into the point that settles this. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
Yeah, no, bro. Do you have any questions?
No.
As an outsider? Okay. All right, then, yeah, let's go
Get
ahead and
into
get
it.
into the verdict, I guess.
Okay,
Well, no.
I'm gonna bring in this up first up. Here is what, you know how I mentioned Yoru a lot? Well, this is what Yoru was pulling before her contract with America. Wiping out entire giant chunks of civilization with single finger points. Points. Or a casual punch being a literal nuclear bomb. And this isn't even Yoru at her strongest, or Denji in his strongest state taking these, because they had an inconclusive fight. This fight was inconclusive because Yoru realized, wait, I freaking love America, and went off to America to get stronger. And there's something I mentioned before. Yoru can take an entirety of states, even several at once, entire U.S. states that all instantly get physically transported over to her, compressed into a weapon of choice, and swing it with the entirety of its mass at Denji, and he took those blows.
I've heard problems with these, with this argument.
What are the problems?
There's paragraphs of problems. Thanks G1 blog.
Which, here is, as an example, I'm just gonna bring it up. Here is her summoning the entirety of Michigan to form it into a sword.
Michigan sword.
I hope you realize you saying here's this means nothing, because nothing's being edited into this video.
Yeah, I'm just for further context for you guys, just as a visual format.
Yeah.
Because she is able to take the entirety of entire giant land masses that get pulled to her, leaving nothing but an ocean of the water that all the people in it just get plopped onto. And even if we don't want to take that into account, the still mid-tier Yoru versus Denji is above those casual feats are things that Itadori has to put effort into doing in Majuro.
Okay, so you say the entirety. Is it really the entirety? Because so it's
yes
said,
and no.
It has been established, and I'm reading this word for word, so don't attack the messenger.
Of course.
It has been established in the Academy Saga that the weapons themselves, this is the state swords, by the way, can be held by those who should not be anywhere near as powerful as Pochita and Yoru. Asa, Yoru's human host, was able to hold the aquarium spear without any issues despite being a normal human.
Yep. Because the weapons can be held by like anyone, but at the same time, it still takes the entirety of whatever that weapon is and crushes it down into one weapon.
Well, that means that they aren't using they don't keep their mass. We're not taking the entirety of a state and compressing it, because otherwise no one would be able to hold it. That should be heavy as hell.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with what he's getting at here. What does this do for Denji? I think is the bigger question. Like, can Denji do this?
Denji fought the person who did this feat.
Okay.
And actually beat her to the point where she basically was forced to surrender. Not kill, because Denji eliminated death, so neither one of them could die. But yeah. And is able to casually take her blows and such after the contract was formed. Armed. Not to mention, and the fight earlier showed Denji taking things that are far above things. I don't think the state 8 weapons are necessarily fully needed to say that Denji is stronger than Itadori, especially because we could bring up the Falling Devil again, and like how I did with Gojo Makina, who is able to reverse the entirety of Earth's gravity. And in that interaction, Denji was beating her, actually, and the Falling Devil was forced to retreat. And the Falling Devil was later killed by Yoru, who Denji is, at worst, even with.
Okay, so in that sense, what does Itadori have? What does Yuji have in terms of strength?
He scales to the Jogo feat.
This is a Richard question. I don't know why he's not answering.
No, go. What was the question? I'm sorry.
How strong is Yuji?
How strong is Yuji? Okay. Well, I would probably say low city level.
That doesn't answer my question, but okay.
What?
Well, okay. Okay, I guess so. Okay. First of all, apologies. There is a massive thunderstorm going on right now, so we need to.
Yeah, I had that earlier.
Yeah. So, second of all, I guess define the question.
What
are
what are feats and stuff that Yuji does or scales to? Give me details. Don't just give me tiers.
Okay, tiers. Okay. Well, he does.
Mic cut off.
My cutoff, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That was an Amber Alert. That was an Amber Alert. Sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
All right. I can't answer these questions because my fucking phone is going haywire with this thunderstorm. So sorry if this is a little unconventional.
You want me to take over then?
Yes, please. Please take over.
Okay. The biggest feat for JJK for years, throughout the entirety of the series, for years on end, was actually scalable to anybody, was the Jogo Meteor feat during the Shibuya arc. You know, the one that Death Battle brought up several times. That was the pinnacle of strength for the series in terms of feats. For years. But then, within Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, Yuji Itadori displayed a feat of himself using Eve, which did. I'm trying to grab which knocked out massive chunks of Tokyo. But it took a lot of effort into doing it. A casual thing could fill what was him slicing out the entirety of an inside of hollowing out a building. In comparison. Does that help?
I guess.
Do you have any other questions? I would like to wrap this up before my power eventually goes out.
Then I guess no.
All
I'm
right.
sorry to rush everybody. I didn't. Thor,
That's all good.
Thor, for the love of God, giving me your goddamn thunderstorms, you blonde, beautiful son of a bitch. I can't tell you how many times we have had thunderstorms here in Texas, and there's a goddamn tornado.
Oh, you
So
live
really, I think at
in
this
Texas
point,
too?
I think this point that Chris Hemsworth motherfucker is just really trying to
Okay,
piss
okay.
me off.
Okay. Funny stuff, but okay. Well, in that case, do you want to give your verdict first, Richard?
Yeah, let's
Sure.
get to verdicts.
Okay. Anyway, you know what? I'm going ride or die on this one. I still think that the domain expansion should be somewhat applicable here. That's the only thing I got. If the soul manipulation is indeed a moot point and kind of superfluous when Denji has resisted that kind of stuff, then the only thing I can fall back on is a domain. So I like Yuji more as a character, so I'm going Team Pink here. I'm going for Yuji.
All right.
Okay.
Koto, you're our guest. I mean, you've made your point abundantly clear. I don't know why I'm asking.
Yeah, Denji kind of sweeps. There are ways Itadori could win, but he's nowhere near strong or fast enough to pull them off. Even with the guaranteed hit of the domain, he still needs to act. And he can get attacked before he uses it. And giving Denji's normal strategy before he is to start by overwhelming and flushing an opponent before they can do anything. It's just his normal thing. And any part of Itadori that Denji eats, Itadori will not be able to regenerate from using reverse curse technique. He essentially has counters for a lot of Itadori stuff. And that's not even deciding if he decides to use his blood chainsaw to just make Itadori rip himself apart as he's trying to heal. And given how many specific things in Jujutsu Kaisen have been directly interacted or countered by things similar to what Denji can actually do, it's almost like Denji is the perfect counter for someone like Itadori. You can make a lot of arguments for Itadori, but Denji is just way too fast, way too strong, and just has the perfect counters for him. I really don't see how Itadori stands a chance.
Okay. I guess I'll go next since I'm like the only one here who has like no horse in the race.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna lie. A lot of Yuji's other abilities like blood manipulation and soul whatever bullshit. You know, it's Yuji. I'm not entirely convinced. Like, I see the argument, I get it, I hear you. I'm not entirely convinced on Denji countering it. Which could mean a domain expansion could probably be really bad. But I also think, this whole strength and speed thing is kind of bad. If Denji's that much stronger and that much faster, I do think that could be I think that's a pretty big problem. It basically means that the domain expansion is like the only thing that can really give Yuji not that Yuji's other abilities wouldn't work, but like he's not gonna land them if Denji's that much faster. So like, hey, domain expansion kind of like his only big winning thing here, and that feels kind of specific to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just burned out by a lot of times I tried to argue for characters with like very few win conditions, but better strength, better speed. Yuji's either trapping him in a domain or Denji's hacking him to death with chainsaws. So I think I gotta go with
Or just eating him.
Okay, it's funny. The whole eating thing, from an outsider's perspective, the whole eating him thing is really funny to me because, like, yeah, let's eat Yuji. It'll erase him from existence. Yeah, it'll also just eat him alive. Like, I think that's kind of the only thing you need here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chainsaw Man.
Like, okay, he has, like, okay.
Thank you, Chainsaw Man.
Like, I find it so funny because, like, yeah, Denji eating Yuji, that means Yuji will be erased from existence. It also will mean, like, Yuji will be dead anyway because he got eaten alive. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't get why this is such a, like, I guess people thought, like, oh, existence erasure, go Burr, and it's like, that's, like, literally, like, if he didn't have that, I don't think eating him would make any difference because Yuji's still dying. I don't know. I always just found that really funny.
It is.
Because, like, at that point, existence erasure is a moot point because he's already dead. But, like, I don't know if Denji will, like, I mean, Denji fights with chainsaws, so, like, I think the bigger thing is he's just gonna hack Yuji to death.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Denji. That just feels a little safer to me. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, Ian. Now it's my turn. All right, so I'll be honest. Before there is part of me that was hoping I wouldn't come across as biased for my verdict, considering I really want Denji to win. He has become one of my favorite characters Death Battle's ever used, and I really, really don't want Chainsaw Man to go 0-3. But even beyond my bias here, not that I don't like JJK and Yuji, but you get the idea. Yeah, no, I just think Denji wins. Like, I don't think, I do think there are some stuff that Yuji has that would definitely be effective on, that could be effective on Denji. And, I just think, the problem of the strength, speed, and that damn regeneration that I don't really know how Yuji gets around it, I think is just kind of a nail in the coffin. Sure, yeah, there's, some soul fuckery and the domain expansion that could potentially hurt, but, like, it's not something Denji, it's not like it's not something that Denji hasn't worked around before. Gosh, that was a hard sentence. Why did I say that? But yeah, no, I don't know. There's part of me that, like, really, I don't want this to become another, like, Bowser versus Eggman for me, because I really, really like this one fight where, like, I like both series, but I have a very clear bias here. But nah, I think, hopefully, I think all the pieces are lining up for Denji to win. So I'm gonna go Denji.
Well, why don't we just kick back and see who is the special?
Ha. I see what you did there. That's fun. But yes, indeed we will. Oh boy.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the most, like, I obviously, no offense to either series or character, but this is probably the most, like, dead face I think I'm gonna be to whoever wins. It's like if either Denji or Yuji win, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay.
Just wait until Death Battle does something like Subaru versus Kazuma.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be a headache.
No, I'm saying more so in the sense of, like, not caring.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
I say as
So-
a fake Subaru fan.
Well, we will see
We
if
shall
that ever
see.
happens.
Yeah, apologies if this
Yeah.
was not my best led episode for a character. Circumstances are just not good for me right now.
It's fine.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't know. We still made it work. We still made it work.
Yeah.
That's all you
Uh-huh.
can ask.
Yeah. All right.
But-
Well, there you go then.
All right.
By my count, that's 2 for Denji and 1 for Yuji. And last time we had
Well,
a 2.
I mean,
Shut up.
No,
Um,
no. 3
Last
for Darcy.
shut up. Last time we had a 2-to-1 split like this. The 1 won. So you should probably be scared.
oh boy.
Yeah.
That's happened a few times in the freaking Kickstarter era, for the record.
True that. True that.
Fingers crossed that this could be the one to break that. No offense. Richard.
Just to be fair, it's like, look, I do understand why ZDogg is going for Denji. Aside from the bias, I mean, look, nobody likes a franchise to be 0-3 in this series. I get it.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, Goku over there is just like chilling in the alone club of 0-3.
Yeah.
Indeed.
One day that'll change, right? Right?
Anyway.
Bro, this is when you say the answer. Bro, this is where you say the answer.
Anyway, so yeah, with that being said, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This is obviously in 2 parts. We did not do an outro for part 1, I don't think. So hope you enjoyed Groove vs. Megamind. Hope you're excited for Yuji versus Denji. If you spoil the next time, you're a piece of shit and we hate you.
Yeah.
Check out BBB when that comes out. Our ranking is done. I could finally shill something else.
There we go. Yeah, look forward to that. Hopefully between, at least, I was gonna say hopefully before whatever the next episode is.
Yeah, we will.
Hopefully.
We're not making any
Yeah.
We're not making any promises. But we will try to have the episode come out before the next episode releases, because that gives y'all something to watch in between. Because without saying what the next time is, BrobusCast will definitely have their hands full, and so we want to definitely give y'all something to enjoy.
Yeah, and teasing a little bit, but from what Bro has said, it sounds like it's gonna be quite the interesting list.
Yes. Now
That will be
y'all are
fun.
probably wondering why the hell is it taking us this long to get to a simple ranking? Well, first
Life.
of all,
We've been
life.
busy, god damn it.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
We've been busy as fuck. Second of all, this is not a normal ranking. This isn't something that the lads are like, well, and it took you this long. Shut up! It's like it's hard. Damn it! Do you know how hard it is to rank 24 and 25 in the same damn list? It's hard.
Done.
And
We're probably gonna make
idea.
we are probably going to have controversial takes on what ended up where.
yes.
I mean, with when everything is as highly revered as that batch of episodes is, of course it's going to be controversial.
Yeah,
Please,
Yep.
God, 26.
Yeah,
we're begging
we're
you.
pro-
Make
yeah,
it simple.
we're probably gonna make some people mad.
Oh yeah, no, we are definitely going to piss people
Yeah.
off. But you know what? Hey,
So tune in to get pissed off potentially.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, you got to remember, it's our opinion, and we run this podcast. So, na.
Yeah. No, he's
Exactly.
completely right. Yep.
Yep. But either way, look forward to all that stuff when it.
Yes, look forward to us ranking. Yes, look forward to us ranking Tom versus Wiley at number 1.
Now, what do you mean? Spider-Man versus Deku's getting one, right?
No, I think
Anyway,
it's
so
gonna be
thanks for
Fall Guys versus
watching.
someone else.
I hope
Okay,
you
no.
enjoyed this particular episode, and we will see you all in the next particular episode where we talk about. I tried to think of a stupid matchup to say what the next one is.
Benji
and then-
Grimm versus Nicky the Hedgehog.
all right, and
Yeah,
he's
it's
no
gonna be
longer on this
hype.
podcast anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and go. Goodbye, everybody.
Ah!
Bye.
Have a good one.